Module 5, Relational Summary Lecture GNE1 of Grades and Slopes and the Effects of Latitude. The ecology of the North has provided the most iconic imagery in the campaign to raise awareness and concern, and in many cases, outrage over the consequences of global warming. And it is global warming that we're talking about here in the extreme North, not mere climate change. Make no mistake about it, the Earth is gradually warming. That is to say that the average temperature of the entire globe is going up steadily, as this graph shows, despite occasional swings up and down and bizarre springtime dips like the polar vortices. The trend line is ever up, and that's what counts. When you plot a slope through all those points on the graph, the gradation is not just on an incline, but gets ever steeper. And perhaps more important than the gradation here is the degradation it is causing to our climate buffering environments, soils and forests and wetlands and reefs and glaciers and ice packs. Oh my! This creates a very dangerous positive feedback loop that adds to the rising slope of the curve. Now, my father, John Culhane, who worked for Disney as a writer and historian, taught me at a young age that one of the keys to good art, whether writing, drawing and painting, filmmaking, performance or presentation, were what he referred to as grooch, gradation, repetition, unity, contrast, and harmony. He helped us remember these principles of effective communication by saying that this is how the grooch stole Christmas and our hearts and minds. Now, the gradual rise of average temperature is threatening to steal not just Christmas and the North Pole, but all the gifts our once abundant planet could provide. Admittedly, the image of an emaciated mother polar bear and her vulnerable cubs stuck on a tiny isolated and dissolving ice floe in the middle of an ever-warming blue-black sea miles from land can steal your heart. The stark contrast between the bright, cold white specks of mammal fur and ice floe against the dark solar radiation-absorbing ocean evokes an emotional response. The unity between perishing mammal and diminishing mass of unfreezing water creates an immediate understanding that as one goes, so goes the other. On the other hand, the healthy multi-hued gradations of land to sea in areas still not as impacted by global warming suggest a possible harmony that we can get back to if we decide it's preferable for us humans to change our practices rather than changing the climate to suit our gray cities and the agro-industrial complexes that support them. And because what is happening in the North Pole is being repeated in Greenland and Iceland and Siberia and Canada, the message resounds as truth. There can be no hoax in this. The ice and the so-called permafrost, which was so named because relative to our human experience, we thought it was permanent, is melting. Get that, the permafrost isn't permanent or frosted frozen anymore, and it's releasing prodigious amounts of once-trapped methane that the original climate models didn't account for.